Welcome back. Let us continue with other aspects of our lesson. Now we'll be looking into the following: the PDCA model and the role of quality cycle. Remember, the PDCA model is part and parcel of continuous improvement to processes and systems because this will help the business to improve. The role of quality cycle in the business is also part and parcel of the continuous improvement to processes and systems because the two aspects here, 1 and 2, contribute to now the improvement of the business processes or procedures. Now let us look into the PDCA model. This is the model that is used to improve the product of the business. So the business would have to start by planning. And what do we mean by planning? The business should identify the problem first, then develop a plan for improvement to processes and systems. After the plan, they have to do. What are we talking about in the process of doing now? They have to implement the process and systems. Thereafter, the business should implement the change on a smaller scale. After they have done the doing part now, they check or analyze. So this now is the process where they check whether the process are working effectively. Number 2, they determine whether it has made a difference or not. That is the checking now. But then the last part says now act as needed. So this one ensures that all departments implement the improvement. So basically the business will plan, then do in a smaller scale, then check. If then the change in a smaller scale, before they did or they've done the process, they had 100 customers, and then after now they have 1,000. Then it means when they were checking, they realized the change from 100 to 1,000. So they act as needed. They ensure that all departments implement the plan and do, because they are seeing the change moving from 100 to 1,000. And if the change was successful, they implement on a wider scale. That is your PDCA model. Then, quality cycle. What do we mean by that? This refers to a small group of voluntary workers who meet regularly to discuss quality-related matters in the workplace. So they meet, they discuss, as you can see in the picture. Then we move to the role of quality cycle. The role is to investigate problems and suggest solutions to management. That's 1. Number 2, they solve problems related to quality and implement those improvements. Thereafter, they ensure that there is no duplication of activities in the workplace, meaning they should not repeat one activity twice because that would waste time. And the aim here is to make sure that customers get to be happy without any wasting of time. And they also make suggestions for improving quality systems and processes in the workplace. Then, they increase the demand for products and services of the business. So those are the roles of quality cycle in the business. Then we look into the other aspect, which is now ways in which TQM can reduce the cost of quality. Now, these are the ways in which TQM can reduce the cost of quality. By introducing quality cycles to discuss ways of improving quality in the workplace. We talked about the role of quality cycles. Obviously, they discuss ways to improve the way things are happening in the business. Then another way to reduce cost, because to implement TQM is very costly. So the business would have to schedule activities to eliminate duplication of tasks, because duplication means you are wasting time by doing one activity twice. And then another one is to share responsibility for quality output amongst management and workers of the business. And then another one is to train employees at all levels so that everyone understands the role of quality management, to say why should you be involved, because total quality management talks about full involvement of employees. Then we look into the last part, which is the impact of TQM if poorly implemented by the business. That is what we will be looking into now. Now, if TQM is poorly implemented, the business is going to set one unrealistic deadlines that may not be achieved. This will lead to so many frustrations within the workplace. Number 2, employees may not be adequately trained, resulting now in poor quality products. This would mean the business is not implementing the element we call continuous skills development. So employees will not have the proper skills. Then decline in productivity because of stoppages. This would mean the business is not implementing now the TQM element we call continuous skills. This would mean the business now is not implementing the element we call continuous improvement to processes and systems, because maybe they do not have money to buy the latest equipment. Hence, they are using the oldest equipment, which causes now the delay and reduces now productivity in the workplace, because there are stoppages, maybe because the machines are not well serviced. And then another one is to now say businesses may not be able to make necessary changes of products and maybe services to satisfy their customers. So customers will not be happy and they can end up losing their customers. And when you're talking about changes, again, it goes back to the element continuous improvement to processes and systems, to say if the process doesn't change, then the product won't change as well, and customers will not be happy with that. So with that being said, we have addressed the TQM elements on a large business, and we focused on evaluating their impact, meaning the positives and negatives, and we looked into the importance or the role of quality cycle. We also looked into the PDCA model, and remember those two are part and parcel of now continuous improvement to processes and systems, because they talk about improving. And then we also talked about ways in which TQM can reduce the cost of quality, and we also talked about now, which is our last part, the impact of TQM if poorly implemented. So with that being said, that is the end of our lesson. So keep watching, keep studying, and become a shining star. Thank you.